What's up YouTube, Capital G here, checking out some more of the Link Frames Pack 3 Link cards that got revealed. We explained everything in the first video, so we can just jump straight into the cards in this video, and we're going to start with a brand new Evil Hero Link monster. And can I just start off by saying, what the actual hell? I mean, seriously, at this point, I'm just wondering, how much support can Jaden get in one single year? Keep in mind, in our most recent TCG Legendary Duelist, Evil Hero already got a bunch of support because of Season 3's Supreme King Jaden. And then the next Legendary Duelist, Elemental Heroes, are getting support with Sunriser and all that amazing stuff. And now Konami's like, you know what, we also need more Jaden support. Like, come on, man. This dude is just getting support beyond support beyond support at this point. I think it's a little ridiculous and excessive, but that's just my opinion. Anyways, this is Extra Hero Hell Divisor. It is a Dark Fiend, linked to monster 1700 effect. It points straight down towards you and then to the bottom left. It requires 2 hero monsters, which is basically the entire hero deck, so everything in your deck should be able to make this. Your first effect is a hard once per turn. It says if this card is link summoned, you can reveal 1 hero fusion monster in your extra deck and add up to 2 fusion materials with different names listed on it from your deck to your hand. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this effect, except hero monsters. Second effect, fiend monsters this card points to gains attack and defense equal to its level times 100. Okay, so when you look at the first effect, a lot of people got really excited. They're like, oh man, Cap, I get to search 2 hero monsters straight from my deck for free. All I gotta do is show my opponent a fusion monster in my extra deck. It doesn't even matter that I'm locked in the heroes for the rest of the turn, because through the course of the hero plays, you're gonna be locked into heroes anyway, so that doesn't really change anything. But when you really look a little deeper at that first effect, you realize it's not nearly as good as you think it is because of the pool of cards that it has to work with. This card basically can only work with the old crappy hero fusion monsters, the ones from the GX era, a lot of the evil hero monsters from like Gladiator's Assault and stuff, and that's because the cards that you can search have to be specifically designated on the fusion monster itself. You can't use any of the new amazing hero support, like you can't use Melodious, the card that just came out in the last Legendary Duelist. You gotta use like Evil Hero Infernal Wing or Evil Hero Lightning Golem, the cards from like Gladiator's Assault GX era. You can't use any of the new, Elemental Hero Sunriser. You gotta use some of the old crappy cards, like, cards that are like 12 years old. I don't really like that. I don't really think that there are any great targets for this. People were even, saying things like, oh man, use Destiny and Dragon, search a Plasma and a Dogma. That can be good. But then you realize, oh wait, that doesn't have hero in its name, so that doesn't work either. The card has to have hero in its name, and it has to have 2 different hero names on the actual fusion card. When you really look at it that way, it's not like there just aren't that many of them in the game that people are still going to run. So to be honest, this kind of feels like it should have been maybe one of Heroes' first Link monsters, and it might have been decent, but by the standards that Heroes are working with today, I don't think that they're going to play this card at all. Even if you were trying to run like a modernized, like a competitive Evil Hero build, you still wouldn't run this card because the only Evil Hero fusion monster that people are summoning right now is Melodious, the new one, and yeah, this card doesn't work with that. Next up is a brand new Melodious Link monster that I was super excited to see. I've always loved the Melodious archetype, not just because of their beautiful and colorful kind of like artwork, but I like Yuzu as a character from Arc V, plus they're fusion based, so that's just kind of like icing on the cake. This is Bloom Harmonious, the Melodious Virtuoso. She is a light attribute fairy monster because of course she's a Melodious. She is a link to 1000 attack. She requires 2 fairy monsters, which is everything in Melodious, plus I guess you could even throw Honest in the mix. Some Melodious builds run Honest as well. She points to the bottom left and to the bottom right, thank goodness. And her first effect is a hard once per turn. It says if this card is link summoned, you can discard 1 card. That's a cost. Special summon 2 Melodious monsters with different levels from your deck to zones this card points to in defense position. You cannot special summon monsters the turn you activate this effect except Melodious monsters. Second effect, if a Melodious monster this card points to attacks, your opponent cannot activate cards or effects until the end of the damage step. So Bloom Harmonious doesn't reinvent the wheel for Melodious, but it does make the wheel better and more consistent. Melodious is an archetype kind of defined by one really strong play. I like to call it Aria stall, where the Melodious player will special summon Aria, and then the Aria can't be targeted by the opponent. She also can't be destroyed by battle. This makes it really difficult for the opposing player to kind of get through her or any of the other monsters, because she gives that protection to all the Melodious monsters on field. And this card allows you to summon your Aria straight from your deck, which obviously having those double layers of protection is nice, but at the same time, since you can summon a second Melodious monster, you can get something like Elegy, which is a level 5, so it's going to work with Aria, who's level 4. Elegy will give you another layer of protection. It makes it so all your Melodious monsters cannot be destroyed by card effects. So basically, if you get those two monsters out at the same time, your opponent can't target them, they can't run them over by battle, and they can't destroy them with card effects. Pretty good in my opinion. Also, if you didn't feel like your opponent was really using any destruction-based cards, instead of going for something like Elegy, you could summon Shopina from your deck. She's like level 7 or something like that. She's one of the Maestro monsters. She allows you to recover one of your light fairies from the graveyard every single turn, so that can be something like Honest or whatever link materials you put into summoning the Bloom Harmonious to begin with. Or you could even go for Score, which is like the baby Honest for the Melodious deck. Instead of giving your Melodious monsters more attack, Score actually reduces your opponent's monster to 0 during damage calculation, and using that every single turn, that's actually pretty legitimate in my opinion. I think that this card's pretty good. I don't really know that the second effect, honestly, is all that strong. I mean, yeah, it turns your monsters into Armades, but that really doesn't give Melodious like that much more power. Honestly, I really wish that they would have put Shopina's effect into the second effect of this card, where you just kind of could recover a light fairy every turn, because then you just would have been able to juggle something like Honest or Score a lot easier without having to even run Shopina. This is a card that probably, like, it's not going to solve all the problems for Melodious, but it makes them more consistent. Melodious still need better support. Like, they need better fusion monsters, they need better Maestros, but this definitely is a nice start for the Melodious strategy. It's a step in the right direction. So whatever you guys think of these new Link Frames cards, leave it in the comment section below. Thank you guys for watching. As always, subscribe if you have not already, and turn on that notification bell for daily videos.